In this video, we're going to talk about the Great Ascension and the Great Awakening that is happening on the planet right now. We're also going to talk about what five-dimensional reality is and the forecast for the future of this planet. Predictions for 2020 and beyond. Hi guys, welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen. Welcome. So I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a huge mass awakening and a great ascension that is happening on our planet right now. There's a lot of people that are waking up and are starting to see reality for what it is. And so if you have been drawn to this channel, if you have been drawn to some of my videos, or if you have been drawn to this video today, then you are probably a part of this great mass awakening, or you will become a part of this great mass awakening that is happening on the planet right now. So congratulations to you. You are one of the first people in the first wave of people that are part of the mass ascension that is happening on the planet right now. Eventually, all people on the planet at some point in time will be awakened. So you've probably heard a lot of people talking about this great mass awakening that is happening right now, and how this great mass awakening is happening in phases. We are part of the first phase of people to awaken on the planet, and it will be happening slowly and slowly as the years go on. So we are in the first phase, and then there's going to be more phases to come as we go into the future. But all of the isolation caused by the virus of 2020 is actually the catalyst to making this great spiritual awakening happen. And it's actually making the process happen a lot faster for many people on the planet. So the purpose of this virus was to start the process of this great spiritual awakening. I will put a link below to the video that I did about that. And we will transfer from third dimensional reality to a 5D reality. And so a lot of people are confused and they don't know exactly what this means. What does it mean, 5D reality? And what does it mean that we're waking up? Aren't we already awake? So a lot of people are confused about this and they don't exactly know what that means. And so I'm going to explain it to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my ability, what this great mass awakening means, what 5D reality means, and what the future will be like for us. Because a lot of things are going to be shifting on this planet, and a lot of things are going to be changing, and the old way of thinking and the old way of being will no longer exist in this new earth and in this new world and this new reality that we are moving into. We are moving from a intellectually based society into a more heart-based, heart-centered society, where we make decisions based upon the heart and not the head. So let's talk about the basics first. And what does it mean that we are waking up? So Earth is kind of like a university for souls. It's like a university and a place that souls come down to learn lessons and to have spiritual growth and spiritual development. And so your soul has incarnated down onto planet Earth in this lifetime in order to learn things and in order to have interactions with other souls that are on different vibrations than it is on. So up in the spiritual realm, souls tend to be around other souls that are on a similar vibration and a similar frequency. And so there's not a lot of spiritual growth in the spiritual realm. So they come down to planet Earth and other planets as well to have this advancement and to have this growth. Basically, they come down here to grow. It's kind of like being in school. It's like being at a university, and we're all working on different degrees. Some of us are working on easier degrees, and some of us are working on more difficult degrees. If your life path number in numerology is a master number, such as an 11 or a 22 or a 33, then you are most likely working on a more difficult and a more advanced degree than everybody else. Or if you have a master number in your chart. And so we're all working on different degrees. Some of us are working on easier degrees, and some of us are working on more advanced, difficult degrees. And those people that are working on the more advanced, difficult degrees, they will have more difficult lives. they will have more challenges in their lives, and you might be one of these people. If you were drawn to this video and if you are having a spiritual awakening right now, then chances are you're probably one of these people. A lot of people that have spiritual awakenings, they go through turmoil in their life while they are growing up, while they're younger, and that turmoil and the struggle that they go through helps them to have an awakening later. So there's a reason why you have to go through that. Everything happens for a reason, and there are no coincidences. And if you've had a difficult life, then you're probably one of those people that was meant to have a spiritual awakening. And so that is why it's probably happening for you right now, or it has already happened. And so before we come down here, we plan out our lifetime and we plan everything out ahead of time. So we already have contracts with the people that we are going to meet, the family members, the people we get married to, the friendships, all of those people, we have contracts with them and their souls before we are born. And we plan all of this out. We sit at a table with our guardian angels and our spirit guides, and we plan everything out, and we even plan out some of the big challenges and some of the big obstacles and some of the big events and good things that will happen for us in our lifetime. So we kind of plan out a blueprint and a roadmap for what is going to happen in our lifetime and what will occur in our lifetime. And so if you would like more information on the pre-planning of your lifetime before you are born and what exactly your soul planned out for you, you can check out this book by Michael Newton. It's called Journey of Souls, and this is a great book. I highly recommend this book to anybody who wants more information on this. So it might be a surprise to some of you that you are the one that picked your life and you are the one that planned it out, and you planned out your family members and your relationships. It might be a surprise to you, and it might not be. Some of you might already know this. But you are the one that chose your life, and you also had a master plan for your life. So you also planned that all of these things were going to happen for a reason, and that there was going to be some benefit that would come out of all of this and your life, and that your soul was going to essentially learn something from all of the struggles that you've had, everything that you've been through in your life. And so you don't remember any of this because there is a veil of forgetfulness that is put into place so that we do not remember any of this information, and so that we do not see the spiritual world and we do not remember exactly why exactly we are here. Because your life would not have as much meaning if you knew all of this ahead of time. You know, if you're in a class and you already have the cheat sheet and you already have the answers to the test before you take the test, then you're not going to study for the test, right? You're not going to learn anything because you already know the answers to the test. So that's kind of the reason why there is a veil of forgetfulness, because if we remembered all of this, it would be like the answers to the test would be given to us ahead of time, and we would never study for the test. So we would never learn anything, and there would never be any reason for us to come down here and to be born. And so there is a veil of forgetfulness that is put into place, and we gradually learn more and more and more of this information as we go along in our lifetime. But we don't have all of it at once. It's a process. We are learning this information as we go. And this great ascension and this great mass awakening that is happening on the planet right now is basically people are waking up to this reality. People are starting to awaken, and they're starting to remember that they are the ones that planned out their life, and that they are the ones that planned out the relationships that they have in their life, and that there is a meaning to all of this. Everything that you go through, there is a meaning to all of it. And this world that we're currently in right now is just basically a third dimensional world. It's based on intellect, it's based on physical aspects and material things. But in the spiritual realms and the spiritual world that we come from, it's much different up there, because everything up there is not based on the head. Everything up there is based on the heart. It's all based on caring and love, and everything is heart-centered. And so people are starting to wake up in this mass awakening and starting to realize that this third dimensional reality is not real. These are all just props that have been put into place so that you can learn in this university of Earth while you are in this lifetime. So think of it as that your life is kind of like a play, and your soul is the director and the creator of your play. And your body, the person you are, is just the part in the play, this play of your life that your soul wrote and your soul planned before you were born. But your soul, who you really are, is the actor that is playing the part. So the part is just you in this lifetime, in this body that you have in this lifetime. And the actor, who you really are, is your soul. And this third dimensional world that we live in, it's basically all the props that are in the play. But none of this is real. All of this is just props that have been put into place so that we learn our lessons and our souls grow and have that advancement while they are down in a lifetime, so that they can go back up to the spiritual realms, which is their true home, and benefit from that growth. And so what it means by moving from the third dimension into the fifth dimension is more symbolic, because we're not actually physically moving from the third dimension into the fifth dimension. If you were to do that, then you would become a spirit. Your body wouldn't exist anymore. So in this lifetime, you are still in the third dimension, but your mind becoming aware of all of this information and all of this, everything that I've just told you, you integrating that and becoming aware of that, your mind starts to be in the fifth dimension. Your mind starts to operate on the level of spirit. And so becoming more like spirit, you move from being more head focused and head based to being more heart centered, and things coming from your heart and coming at it with love and letting go of your ego. When we let go of our ego, we move from the third dimension into the fifth dimension, and we become more like spirit, because spirit doesn't have an ego. The ego is just something that was created so that you can learn your lesson and get your degree in this University of Earth. The ego is basically the part in the play that you created. You're not the part that you're playing. You're the actor, okay? And you becoming aware of this, and you becoming aware that you're just the actor, but you're not actually the part that you're playing, you're moving from the third dimension into the fifth dimension, because you're letting your ego go. And so we start to have more compassion for other people, and we start to have love for everybody, because we realize that at a deeper level, we are all connected to each other, and that these people that are in your life and causing you problems, well, they're just part of the play. They're the antagonist in the play, and every play has to have an antagonist. But you start to realize that you are the one that just set that up, that you are the one that created that play before you came down here, and you chose those players in your play. You chose that person was going to come in and cause you problems, and so you would have growth and you would have spiritual development. So when you start to realize this, you move from the third dimension, which is ego-based, into the fifth dimension, which is not ego-based and has no ego. You leave the ego behind, and you leave the part in the play that we're playing behind. And you start to identify with the actor in the play, not the part, but the actor in the play, which is who you really are. And so that's this fifth dimensional reality that everybody is talking about right now. And I wanted to do this video because fifth dimensional reality seems very confusing to a lot of people, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense, and it just seems very esoteric. And a lot of this probably sounds very esoteric to some of you who have never heard any of this before. But that's why I wanted to make this video, just to show you guys what exactly fifth dimensional reality is. All it is just becoming aware of all of these things. And when we start to become aware of this, we start to become more heart-centered. And like I said, we start to let our ego go. We start to have compassion for people, and we realize that we are all connected at a greater level. We are all connected, and we are all one. We are all a part of source energy. And we start to realize this, and we become more powerful. We become more connected to the source, that of which we came from. And so what's going to be happening over the next years to come is we are moving from a society that is third dimensional into a fifth dimensional society, a fifth dimensional reality, where this mass awakening is that people are just becoming aware of all of this. And in the future, people will be more heart-centered. We won't be as head-focused and head-centered. People won't have as big of egos anymore. The old way of being will not last in this new reality. This old way of operating, which is operating based on the ego and, a society focused on making money and, things like just getting Instagram likes and caring about other people's opinion of you, caring about your status and, how much you have in this world and what people think about you in this world, how big you are in this world. None of that will exist in the new world because people will realize that that's not real. That's just, all of that's ego-based, and they're going to be leaving that behind, letting go of the parts that they're playing in their play and starting to identify with the actor in the play, which is who they really are. And so in the future, people will not be able to lie and get away with it. People will not be able to treat other people unkindly and get away with it. People will not stand for that in the future because we will know better. People will already know what other people's intentions are, and they will already know what they're thinking and what they are feeling. And in this new world and in this new earth and this new way of being, we will all have more compassion for each other, and we will support each other, and we will all realize that we are all one and that we are all connected and that we are all down here together and we are all in this together. And in this new world, in this new 5D reality that we are coming into, because of this mass awakening, we will be able to manifest things more quickly. In this third dimensional world that we've been living in, and it's kind of like we've been living in the dark ages, we've been living in the dark ages this whole time. And, in this dark ages that we've been living in, it's been very difficult to manifest things. So if there's been something that you've been trying to manifest, something you really want in your life, that will be a lot easier for you to do in this fifth dimensional reality that we are moving into. So things will happen a lot more quickly, and we will be able to manifest things very, very quickly, within days, within hours. You'll think of something and it will just happen. Because we are becoming more aware of our power and that we are the creators and we are the creators of our reality. And all of this down here is just energy. It's just props, and it can be manipulated. And so we will realize that we have this power to manipulate energy because it's all just energy. And so people will be able to manifest things more quickly. Good things, such as your dreams coming true and finding love and having love in your life. Those things will be manifested more quickly than they have been in these previous years that we've been living in these dark ages that we've been living in. So think of it as that we've been living in the dark ages this whole time. And this great mass awakening that is happening on the planet right now is basically us coming out of the dark ages and coming into the light and having knowledge of what things really are and the reality of what things really are. And so this third dimensional way of being is being blasted right now. So that's this great mass awakening that's happening. It's all being blasted and it's all being destroyed. It's being removed from all of us, even people that don't realize it's happening. That's why time seems to be speeding up right now and everything is happening so quickly. And things happen so much faster than they used to in the past. A year will go by and you'll just be like, I can't believe that a whole year has gone by. And there's a reason for that. It's because this third dimension, these dark ages that we've been living in, this third dimensional way of being, this density that has been a part of us is being blasted out of us. It's being removed, and a new world and a new way of being is being put into its place, and it's being replaced, basically. So this is a good thing. So all of that density and that third dimensional way of being is going to be replaced over time, slowly and slowly and slowly. Now, the egos that we have in this world will never be removed completely because we all have an ego that helps us to survive in this world, and it will never be removed completely. But we are getting into a time and a period in our planet's history where the ego isn't as big and people don't have as big of egos anymore, and people don't care about that kind of stuff anymore like they do right now. You know, right now people are really obsessed with making money and material wealth and status and the way they seem in the world and how they appear to other people, and we are moving away from that. That is the old way of being. We are moving away from that into a heart-centered, fifth-dimensional reality. And all of that stuff will no longer exist and will no longer be tolerated in this new reality that we are moving into, because all of that is just dense energy. It's density. And it's being blasted. It's being removed and taken away so that we can become lighter. And we can become lighter beings. And we can be more closer and more similar to the fifth dimension. Because the spiritual realm, which is the fifth dimension, they're light energy. They don't have any of that density. They don't have any of that need for ego, that need for, validation from other people, from validation from society. They don't have any of that need for that. And so we are moving into a society that is more like that is more like the spiritual realms. We're going from third dimension into the fifth dimension. So a lot of things will be changing in the future, and you probably have noticed this, and if not, then you probably will start to notice it more so now. And so I know that some of this might sound a little esoteric for some of you, and it might not for others. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. If there's anything that I said that seems a little confusing, you can let me know in the comments below, and I will try to get back to you about it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this. Where are you in terms of this great mass awakening that is happening and this density that it's being blasted out of us right now? Where are you in terms of this? Like, has this just started happening for you, or has this been happening to you for a while? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to check out my services, I will leave the information to that below. I would love to have you subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I am sending you light and love. Take care.